friends, this is something new for you from Natural Pigments. We start a new program now. It's Color Notes. And today, like you already see, we will cover Ultramarine Violet.
Ultramarine Violet, which is the color index pigment Violet 15, is a synthetic inorganic pigment used in painting for over a century. This pigment is known for its intense, deep violet color and has been used in a variety of painting styles and mediums. Ultramarine Violet is derived from ultramarine blue, a pigment that has very similar properties, known for its deep blue color. So we're going to look at a little bit of the history, its source, origin, and most of all, we are going to show you what ultramarine violet pigment looks like in oil color.
If you will decide to make your own, although we did make oil paint for you, but if you decide to make your own, here's the pigment. And so you saw the jar, and it's very easy to mix. In this case, we're mixing with just refined linseed oil. And while I'm mixing, Josh will talk more about ultramarine.
Yeah, one of its interesting properties is that this unique violet shade is very clean and bright and really has this ability to make whites even whiter. It's semi-transparent and to visible light, and it's transparent entirely to near infrared light, which means then it's a cool pigment. But it's, of course, how cool it is depends on what it's painted over and what other pigments are mixed with it.
Because you would need, as much as it's kind of looking easy mixture, but you still would need, in this case, molar. And so you don't need to mill much because it's easy breaks, but here's the molar. And so you would see, then I would just make a couple minutes and your paint will be ready.
Yeah, and this ultramarine violet absorbs a moderate amount of oil. So if you have 100 grams of pigments, you're going to need approximately 30 to 40 grams of oil to make a paste. And so it's somewhat fast drying color. We would say moderately in this way. But the lower content of oil gives it a little bit faster drying ability. And this could also be helpful because it is a very transparent color and avoids some of the yellowing.
Like always, we will show you later mixture with other colors, and so if that's still noticeable for you how transparent it is, it will be a little bit later. But you can see after literally a couple minutes it's ready to go. Although what I noticed, I overshoot oil from the beginning, and that is very easy mistake to make with ultramarine, because ultramarine loves almost always all ultramarines love water and hate oil. And so therefore, every time you mix it, it feels like it's not enough, and boom, it's suddenly too much.
Yeah, it becomes slumps in as you make it there.
Yeah.
You know, ultramarine has a very interesting history. We know that ultramarine blue started with lapis lazuli, and there it is again. And here's our Munsell numbers too. But it starts with it was then synthesized in the 19th century as ultramarine blue. What a lot of people don't know is ultramarine violet is then made from ultramarine blue. So you heat it up and you put it in with chlorine, gas, or ammonium chloride, and voila, you get ultramarine violet.
And you can see how long and stringy this color is. It's almost behavior of our ultramarine blue-green shade.
Now, and the reason why, of course, it's very stringy is because we don't put any additives in it.
Yes. So if you don't know about us much, so look our previous programs. But here we are mixing ultramarine violet with lead white on left side, and on right side we will mix with titanium. And so here I was mixing, like, let's say it was 50-50, so that means the first pile I was doing 100 of the violet hematite, ultramarine violet, and 50% of the lead, and then 100 and 100. So here is exactly the same. Here is basically 2 parts of ultramarine and 1 part of titanium, and here's 1-to-1, and you can see how titanium is overpowering. And so you see how ultramarine is very transparent, and it's losing completely with titanium. Here we are doing with mixture with cadmium yellow light.
We want to get some neutrals because we know that yellow is on the opposite side of the color wheel from a purple or violet. And so we're adding, Tatiana's adding the ultramarine violet to there slowly, so we can see where it goes, how it builds up a neutral.
And you can see the strings.
Very stringy paint. Again, that you will never see that in any other brand because we don't use the additives. As soon as you put the additive in there, it becomes very short and buttery. So it makes a very nice, very cool looking neutral.
Yeah.
And you can see where it's going here.
Here, titanium white. I didn't mix with lead because titanium will be a little bit more powerful, so I wanted to see the grays.
Plus you get a better neutral with that, because it's, or a cooler neutral, I should say.
Yeah. And cadmium, so cadmium orange, we had just not long time ago program about cadmiums, and especially about cadmium orange. That this is so powerful color, it's unbelievable. So I needed, you saw how much ultramarine I used, and so you see then I add again of, because it basically didn't do much to cadmium. So in order to
getting a nice brown with it.
Yeah, so you need a lot of ultramarine, or
right, because it's so
you need so small amount of cadmium. That's
right,
what,
so
that's
small
probably.
amount. Yeah, because cadmium is very opaque paint,
Yeah.
so yeah, overpowers. Now a lot of people ask, is ultramarine violet a long-lasting color? And yes, it is. It is absolutely light fast.
I just wanted to mention to you because it was beautiful purple, and so here I add a little bit titanium and add more, and I thought, let me compare. So on the right side you will see this is actually mixture with titanium, on the left side mixture with lead, so you can see the range of the violet.
A lot cooler that way now. Now this is another nice experiment with yellow ochre. See what kind of neutral we get. Very differently, because yellow ochre is a lot more orangey or brownish, as the case may be.
And very transparent. Both of these colors are very transparent. It was very easy to work with, and so very fast gradation here. Yeah. And
one thing to keep in mind is that while ultramarine violet as well as blue, they're very similar in properties, are light fast. In fact, they're rated as category 1 in ASTM. But you never want to use these colors outdoors or when they're exposed to acid environments, because they.
You need to say why?
Well, because they're destroyed in acid environments.
Oh, okay.
This makes a nice neutral
Beautiful.
too. Beautiful,
Purple
actually.
too.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
so yeah.
Beautiful mauve kind
Yeah.
of color there. Really nice. We cool it down a little bit, so you can do great for flesh tone, by the way, because you can have some cool shadows there.
Thank you very much. See you next time.